problem. And I think it still goes down to the issue of thinking of my community and myself first before the larger community. Right? And I think that is very, very problematic. Well, honestly.
And what is even more problematic is that the youths now are even thinking it more than the old people. That's scary.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
Let me ask you the next question. Let me just ask you the next question.
And it's worse. The cancer in the youth is terrible. Like that is extreme. Like,
what do you think about youth leadership?
Youth is terrible. Like the most worst form of leadership I've seen as a youth is youth leadership. I mean, I've been in student politics for a while where I've seen the backdrop and the back end of some of those. And it should be a fear for any young person who is within the ages of 20. The kind of leadership we are raising from our second cycle institutions and our first cycle institutions up the Charlie Ghana will be in worse situation than it is now.
I've always
if
said
we
that.
go at that tangent. True. If we go at that tangent that
what tangents are we going on?
We are going on a very...
Give us details. Give me details. Okay, like I want to know the details.
So let's limit it to University of Ghana. Because that is where
that's our
jurisdiction. I am not a very political person, but I have had the opportunity to work with student politicians. And the kind of mindsets they have.
What mindsets?
It's like, okay, so they are still following this current democracy system where the NDC, MPP, everybody's trying to get their partners, work within themselves and make themselves rich. Even at the students' level, the kind of things they do to backbite, to stab each other for power is crazy. Like, I sit down and I'm like, hey, and see, these are the people that are coming to leave me and my children in the future.
That's why it's very, very important we start screaming at some of these things. For me personally,
what should we scream at?
Well, personally, there are people that I have told plainly that if I ever see them run, I will personally, because we can't let some of those people get power.
Oh, definitely.
We are there, though.
Definitely.
Some of them, we are really, really, really
they are
dead.
selfish.
It will not augur well for us as a society. And once again, we are not being intentional about leadership. I mean,
that's the biggest problem.
No intentionality about building it. I mean, we are not checking the ambitions of people and trying to at least model it in a way that at least they are a little bit patriotic. At least. There's no intentionality. So we are having a whole mass of people who are very, very ignorantly ambitious to the detriment of society.
Ignorantly ambitious.
You check the ambition and you see that it comes with a lot of ignorance. You interview an average student leader and ask him what was the reason why he decided to enter leadership. And you hear some of the things you hear, you really enjoy, and you would wonder where this person came from.
And a lot of them are actually loyal to their political parties.
Yes, that's the thing. That's the biggest problem we are having.
About the bigger picture. And then it's always straight ahead. What can I do to help my party win an election? What contribution can I personally do from where I sit? So that is why they go for positions. So I'm going to UGSRC for this reason, so that I would help my party, so that my party will get popularity or something. We are not looking at the bigger picture. I have a student politician on one of my contacts, and when I look at some of the status updates, so this whole issue on residency price increases and stuff, and then this person keeps posting that students are not angry enough. Or UG students are not angry enough. And every time I see that post, I get so angry that...
Why?
Because you had the position a few years ago. Were you angry enough? Because if you were angry enough, then the people after you wouldn't have been struggling with all of these issues. You didn't solve any issue. Yet you sit where you sit and you are blaming the next generation or your successors that they are not angry enough. What did you do when you were at that position? You didn't do anything, yet you claim that people are not angry enough with the things that are happening. Let's say if I was able to, or I'm in a position at this point, and then I'm able to do a bit of it. I'm able to do something small to help. When you come, it won't be that difficult for you. But I come and I don't do anything. I just polish. Oh, I'm fixing it. But I am not tackling the problem. You come and then you have a bigger problem. And I come and sit somewhere and say, you are not angry enough. You are not doing your work enough.
This is too
It is very annoying.
Not to cut Nasho to cool her temper. I think the issue of allegiance is not an issue people would owe allegiance. I don't have an issue with
I really don't have a problem with that.
Owing allegiance to NDC or to NPP. My issue is that what does that allegiance contribute to the greater good of Ghana?
Like that's the big problem.
I am
that's the big question.
And when NPP comes, what are we going to do to better the lives of Ghanaians?
That's a bigger picture.
We are a people that believe in capitalism. We are not a socialist party. Okay, what capitalist policy can you bring that is going to empower Ghanaians to thrive as a society? You're a socialist party. So for me, that whole conversation of allegiance doesn't even vex me like what you are coming to do. You will tell us MPP, NDC, fight your fight. Come and do what you have to do. I think
we must bring those MPP, NDC, TESCOM people here. Because for me, like I keep saying, we are raising a student, we are raising politicians instead of raising leaders. And that's very, very dangerous to us as a society as well. Because the moment we begin to train people on the parts of politics, then it looks like politics is not for the how do they even say it? Politics is not for the young at heart or for the weak at heart or something. For the weak at heart, right? And for me, I keep saying, well, there is no problem with you being TESCOM. There's no problem with you being TAIN.
Yeah.
But the question I always ask myself is, when you go for TESCOM meeting, when you go for TAIN meeting, what do they teach you there?
They teach them how to debate among themselves.
Debate what? Because that's very true. Because the moment you engage a TAIN person on the analysis of Ghana, you will start going. Remember in 1992, in 2008, in 2006, we did this, we did that. And for me, like I keep asking myself, what leadership models are being run in this kind of institutions? And not just to give a free ad, right? There are a couple of institutions or social institutions that are running leadership models. And for instance, where we are recording at the Grace Life Leadership Center. And there's a straight leadership center where they are recruiting and training people to become self-leaders. And they are trying to build a network of selfless leaders. And I think these are the kind of things we need to be able to balance the scope. Because if we don't push such leadership centers into the system, then what is going to happen is that TESCOM and TAIN are consistently going to be bringing out these people that are going to be engaging in a battle of who is right and who is wrong.
Yeah.
And that is not what we need. We need the conversation to be what is going to benefit us as a people, right? And just today, before we even recorded this, on our WhatsApp platform, like our area WhatsApp platform, and one guy just says that, so I engaged the MP for some support and all of these things. And he's saying that the whole thing has become political. If he used to get us jerseys and footballs, we would need to vote him into power. And I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. What the jersey and a ball and a vote?
To destroy us.
Yes. Literally. That's what the conversation is about. And for me, I feel like we might not be able to effect this change, but we can be able to bring up people that would effect this change. And that is what the conversation should be about. For the people who are 60, 70, 80, they would definitely still vote on the basis of tribalism, on the basis of political allegiance and all of that. But we, the 40s, 30s, 20s, the 18s now coming, we shouldn't also follow this pattern. That shouldn't be our focus. We can't literally go around and be saying that I want to vote for you simply because you are mine. You share the same religion with me.
Yeah.
We are from the same community and all of that. We should grow past that. And for me, I think if you didn't get anything from this episode at all, that should be one thing you should take away. We can effect change in our society. And we can only effect this change when we are intentional.
Yeah.
Of course, for the next 5